It's been almost 2 years since the Moonswatch launch, and I finally landed the Neptune. Hi Last Watchers, be sure to hang around until the end of this review to find out if you are the lucky winner of the Frank de Barry Deep Ocean Watch. With the hustle and bustle of Christmas and the celebrations of Hogmanay well out of the way, Edinburgh at the beginning of the year can be a barren and bleak landscape. There's a cold wind that blows down the length of Princess Street, forcing all but the hardcore travellers and locals to venture out into the city centre. I wouldn't want it any other way. The throngs of tourists and gift-seeking shoppers have gone. Call me selfish, but it's the ideal time for a YouTuber to glide from watch shop to watch shop without fear of bumping into someone taking a selfie or getting your knees bashed by a multitude of designer-labelled shopping bags. You can spend countless hours window shopping your favourite brands, checking out exhibition-only models or drooling over watches that you simply can't afford. Or like me, you can pay your almost weekly visit to the Swatch store on the off chance that they've had a delivery of the elusive Moonswatches and prepare yourself to walk out the door empty-handed and disappointed. Well, I did pretty much all of that in the middle of January, but the Swatch store visit came up trumps. It was the day after the Blancpain Ocean of Storms release, and I popped in hoping to see one in the bioceramic flesh, and possibly get one for review. I don't care what any of you say, it's a goddamn sexy looking watch, and one will be mine. It was of course a fool's errand, as I was told that all 300 of their allocated stock, yes, 300, you may have to take that number with a pinch of sea salt, had sold out in a matter of hours. Those clever boys at Swatch really do know how to reel us in. As an almost parting gesture, I asked if they had any Moonswatches and was told they had everything. What, everything? Yes, came the reply. The entire collection, even the Neptune? Yes. And so it was that I left the store 2 minutes later with my Mission to Neptune in hand. If you're a watch collector, enthusiast or Swatch fan, then you will know that Moonswatches haven't been easy to come by. Swatch reneged on their promise to sell online. The collection is only available in their dedicated stores with limited numbers and infrequent deliveries. And on top of all that, it's one per customer per week. So if you're looking to buy more than one, you'd better take a non-loving watch friend with you to the store and hope he or she doesn't fall into the Moonswatch trap. The Neptune is, or was, the hardest of the Moonswatches to source. Due to an anomaly in its production, the blue dye in its bioceramic case bled onto the wrist of owners, and it was very quickly withdrawn from the market whilst they looked for a remedy. The Neptune's rarity made it an instant hit. If there's one guarantee in life, it's that watch collectors will go doolally for unobtainable watches. At the height of the storm, the few Neptunes that were out in the wild were being advertised at £2,000 plus. If you're foolish enough to spend £2,000 on a plastic watch, then let me know in the comments below and I'll flip this one to you in an instant. I'm kidding guys, please don't be offering crazy money for the Neptune as it now seems freely available. The sleeve of the Neptune tells us that the planet Neptune isn't really a planet, as it's not a solid body, but a gassy giant with a solid core. I know a few of those. You might be tempted to pay it a visit, as it literally rains diamonds, but the minus 201 degree temperature make it pretty inhospitable. The days are short at only 12 hours, but one Neptune year, that is the time it takes to orbit the sun, is equivalent to 165 years on Earth, so this battery-powered quartz won't see you through a Neptune week. Although at 2.7 billion miles from Earth, I suspect the battery will be long dead before you even arrive. The case of the Neptune can best be described as a finely textured blue-grey, akin to a bead-blasted finish, with a diameter of 42mm, a lug width of 20mm, a lug length of 47mm, and an overall thickness of 13.2mm, which is pretty thick for a quartz, due in large part to an authentic looking but sadly not quite Hesalite plastic 3mm box domed crystal. Get your magnifying glass out and you might just spot the almost invisible Swatch S, which has been sandblasted onto its surface. I'm amazed that they did that without destroying the oh so sensitive plastic. The total weight of the Neptune, strap included, is a gravity-defying 29.15 grams. There's a semi-case-guarded double-signed Omega Swatch crown and fairly rudimentary smooth, dare I say, polished chronograph pushers. With the benefit of lighter lugs, it's an attractive piece, and it should be, given that it mimics the Speedmaster, albeit in bioceramic form. There's a white on navy blue printed tachymeter scale, complete with the .90 to keep the hardcore enthusiasts happy. The ball dial of the Neptune is also white on blue with a familiar looking azurage detailed tri-compacts layout that differs in its configuration, with the running seconds at 6 o'clock and the chronograph decaseconds at 2 and 60-minute counter at 10. There's some Omega and Swatch branding under the phallic looking 12-hour marker, authentic Speedmaster script under the minute subdial, and Moonswatch under the tenths. It's noticeable that the white printed chapter ring has slightly off-white markers due to their thin layer of loom. The white baton hands are also loomed, as is the tip of the chronograph, a little more than the hour markers, but you may need some help from James Webb to catch the light from this time teller after dark. The caseback is awash with text. Under the Swatch branding, we are informed of its Swiss origins and unspecified water resistance. It's 30 meters by the way, so splashdowns should be avoided at all costs. It has 4 whole jewels within its quartz movement. The V8 points towards that movement being an ETA G10-212, by no means a mecha quartz, but a pucker Swiss caliber nonetheless. Around the caseback perimeter is a mission statement that might be described as life goals by a motivational speaker. Dream big, fly higher, explore the universe, reach for the planets, enjoy the mission. Of course, the only thing that we're really interested in is the white undersigned depiction of our mission to Neptune at the 12 o'clock position, a clever way for Swatch to disguise the battery cover on what is otherwise a completely sealed and unserviceable watch. Without this planetary body allowing access to its innards, the Moonswatch will be completely redundant when the battery dries up. I truly hope the die is fixed on this artwork, or this gas giant will be nothing but a blur in months to come. The black Velcro strap of the Neptune is a safe, if not preferred, option over some of the other Moonswatches. It's somewhat stiff, as it should be given it's fresh out of the box. You can hear it squeaking between the lugs, but it's comfortable on the wrist, and its construction means it should fit any wrist size. It should, however, be swapped out at the earliest opportunity for something more flattering. There's a blue swatch and white printed Omega branding either side of the head of the case, but disappointingly, it feels that the strap's design lost its bearings in zero gravity, as the Speedmaster moniker, along with a Mission to Neptune and Moonswatch branding below the blue keeper, appears inverted. Top Gun, eat your heart out. I've not looked at the Swatch website for some months now, so I was slightly taken aback by just how many Moonswatches are currently not available for you to buy. The original 11 have now been joined by the Mission to Neptune Blue Moon, and a further, as of the making of this video, 10 new missions to the Moon, each sporting a slightly different designed gold chronograph hand. It looks like Swatch, much like Omega, are really kicking the ass out of their Moonswatches. Maybe it was FOMO, the fear of missing out, and feel free to hate me, but I'm glad to have finally picked up my Mission to Neptune, which I'll be keeping in my collection, and hopefully at my next visit to the Swatch store, given their availability, I'll pick up another for my friend south of the border to complete his full set. The universal question now is, should you buy a Moonswatch? Well, if you're serious about watches, then I would say no. The Speedmaster is an iconic tool watch that survived several trips to the Moon and back. The Moonswatch will come back scarred from a trip to Aldi. However, the caseback inscription sums it up perfectly. Enjoy the mission. And many of you, as the Swatch prophets prove, have done exactly that. There's no denying that the Moonswatch collection has been a stratospheric success for Swatch, but its sales may have peaked, finally allowing for stock to meet demand. Also consider that the price increase from £207 to £240 in less than 2 years may be pushing the envelope on how much people are prepared to pay for a plastic watch, unless of course it's a Blancpain Ocean of Storms. And on that note, rather than paying for your next watch, it's time for one of you lucky subscribers to win the Frank de Barry Deep Ocean that I reviewed at Christmas. The review was a bit light on views, but many of you entered the draw. I painstakingly copied and pasted your names into Comment Picker and let the algorithm pick a winner. Congratulations goes to Big Stretch Daddy. I hope you enjoyed this quirky looking deep diver. From your qualifying comment, it looks like you may have the wrist to pull it off. Okay, it's been a few days since the draw and I reached out to Big Stretch Daddy in the Deep Ocean comments. He has yet to get back to me. Big Stretch Daddy, if you're watching, please email the channel. I'll cross-check your details and get the watch shipped ASAP. To the rest of you, thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.